I did several things really. I started off at 16 at Greg's Bakery, and on my very first week dropped a tray of pasties there all over the floor. And then I sort of had 18 years in retail management, also as an international business development manager. I ran my own record label, singer-songwriter, then I became a music teacher in schools, so quite varied for 42 years really. It was losing my dad. My dad was sort of my hero, really. I don't have any political heroes. My dad was my hero. He come from quite a challenging background, really, and so through adversity, you know, he really showed strength and hope, really. And he went into our local hospital for just a routine operation. Training doctors practiced on him for 2.5 hours, and he caught MRSA, the hospital infection, and died. And that was a real big shock to our family. So then my mum and I joined the charity MRSA Action and got involved in the health side. And then I decided, look, why not just sort of put my money where my mouth is, stand for Parliament, really to see if I can shake things up in a positive manner and make sure sort of patient safety and patient care is the heart of the NHS. So that's why I'm here, really. Blimey. Well, I was in the arena recently because of the referendum results in the Leeds arena, and it was amazing going back there because I haven't been back there since, and it brought it all back, really. And it was just amazing. I mean, I look back at the photographs and I look quite strange, my eyes popping out my head as I'm doing this, really. But that was sort of 2 years hard work, and that was a look of relief on my face, really. That, blimey, I did it. And no, it's been amazing. And still, even only a couple of weeks ago, when the division bell went, I still get that butterflies in my stomach, that excitement, and really proud and happy to be here. I suppose just excitement, in awe. You sort of walk the steps and think, blimey, all the, you know, the great people who's been here, you know, the Churchills, and no, just such a privilege, really. I mean, I love history anyway, and I love the history of it, and I think that the fact it's sort of still here despite being bombed. I think that's, you know, that's like our British Constitution, that's our British people here, you know, we're made of strong stuff, really, and I'm just so proud to be here. It's a fantastic place, and it's a privilege to sort of represent my local people, really. God, quite nervous, actually. Being a singer-songwriter, I could easily get up to sing to. I've sang to 80,000 people before at a festival, but actually the public speaking I find much harder, really. So I did think my first question, should I sing it in the chamber? But no, it's been quite amazing, really, because my first week here, it was health questions on the Tuesday, and I got a topical and an oral. So I was thrown straight into it, which was fantastic, so I got over those nerves. I've also had 5 PMQs, which is quite unusual, apparently. So I think my dad's probably looking down on me, sort of pulling it off so I can have all this experience and practice, really. Then, gosh, I'm trying to think, because I spoke quite a few times in the chamber then. What was it about then? I think it was, in health, it was about Abby Longfellow, one of my constituents who needs access to this drug, which is quite hard to get access to this drug, really. So I think that was one of the questions. And I think I also mentioned about MRSA and C. diff. The statistics are normally only reported if it's in the bloodstream. So surgical site infections, which was my dad's case, a point at surgery, isn't always on the statistics. So I wanted sort of like that open policy, so every case of MRSA and C. diff was reported. What the challenge for me has been 2 years full-time candidate, because I gave my job up, sold my house, moved in with my mum, and I'm still with my mum at the moment trying to save up a deposit on a house, which is funny at 40 years old, to actually get out of that mindset of being a candidate, you know, when you sort of feel that you're fighting an election all the time, and so I'm only just slowly coming out of that mindset, really, and sort of feeling that I'm sort of growing into the role slowly. I was surprised how well people work cross-party, which is very good. So it's not as tribal as you see it in the chamber, especially at PMQs, you know, behind the scenes. I think that's where most of the work gets done in the committees. So that was quite surprising. And I was very surprised that my 2 girls, my 2 dogs, Lady and Godiva, won Westminster Dog of the Year. So I'm a blunt Yorkshire woman, and I think sort of being who I am but realising that sometimes there's a place for that and sometimes there's not really. That's probably been the biggest challenge, because I am an open book, and I know my team are probably a nightmare for them, that their hair probably curls at times with some of the stuff I come out with. But I'm one of these, if something's in my head, it comes out my mouth really. So. Gosh, I like the first year. Well, it's got to have been getting elected really, especially that all the polls said I wouldn't do it. You know, the odds was against me in the betting shop, and so that's definitely a highlight. Sending that email from my parliamentary email address, or said MP, on to my mum. That was lovely, and getting a real beautiful email back from her. That was very sweet. Nothing. I'm not a person who has regrets really. Just one of these that I think there's something we can learn from everything. Even my dad's death really. There was lessons to be learned there, and I believe in positivity really. We all make mistakes. We're all human beings, and don't be afraid to put your hand up and say, you know, I've made a mistake here, and just get on with it, move on, and do your best really. That's really tough, because I was a candidate full-time for 2 years and used to being absolutely everywhere. This is what I found hard, because there's that perception there that, you know, that I was expected to be there every day, like I always have been really. So trying to balance that has been very difficult. So what I've had to do is, because when we're on a 3-line whip and we need to be in Parliament because we've got a very small majority as a government, I need to make sure that if there's any meetings about planning, I'll send a member of my team if it's on maybe a Monday, Tuesday night when I can't get there. And so that's been a real challenge. So it's making sure that, you know, the days that I am there, which is quite often a Wednesday night through to a Sunday, that it's action-packed really. So it's doing things like on a Sunday, the Scarecrow Festival, the dog shows, and getting around everywhere to show sort of my constituents realise I am there for them really. I've always been a bit of a workaholic anyway, so I think that's my nature. I think whatever time I've got, I'll always fill it. Yeah. Probably my downtime is I brought my piano down to the flat, and I've got my music equipment, so if I can't sleep because I'm a bit of an insomniac, I'll get writing a song at 2, 3 in the morning really. So that's probably my thinking time. So and that's the time that I can process things and yeah, decide what I'm doing for the next day really. Just believe in yourself really. It's a lot of hard work to get there in the first place. Make sure you're happy with the party that you choose. You know, I think this is where you get issues if you haven't got those kind of values. And work your socks off. Be prepared to get out there delivering leaflets come rain or shine, and really put the work in on the ground. And you know, I have lots of people who come to me to do work experience, and they're not just a T-boy or girl. I like to get them involved in all aspects. And I just think, believe in yourself. It doesn't matter where your background is. Like my dad used to say to me, it doesn't matter where you come from in life, it's your contribution in life that matters really. And my sisters and I have always lived by it. Well, you probably know everything about more than I do as a newbie. But I was recently found out that anybody can come and see their MP, that they can just sort of turn up at Parliament, request to see their MP, and you go and see them. So that was a new thing I wasn't aware of really.